Welcome back to another episode of the GODSUccess Teach and Pray. Our leader of the week's topic today will be perception and perseverance. Lamentations 5:5 is the verse for today. As a 23-year-old African Jamaican American, I pray daily, especially for my brothers, to know their history and start working together to change and uplift ourselves in unity. I pray to continue being a strong mentor and role model for others. We need to move from distress and disgrace today. How can you help? This is yours truly, MC and engineer, His Excellency Dakar, Director of GODSU's Chaplaincy Program, and CEO of Dakar Marketing Tools, an international graphic and printing company providing you with all your marketing needs to help you and your company grow. Our popular products are GODSU African American Bibles, magazines, banners, flyers, branded golf shirts, and jackets. Today is President's Day and the birthday of GODSU alum, Dr. Mark E. Kirkland, Chaplain. Without any further ado, our Reverend Dr. Leo Pickett, our singing chaplain, please take us away.
When the storms of life are raging, stand by me. When the storms of life are raging, stand by me. When the world is tossing me like a ship upon the sea, thou wouldst wind and water, stand by me. In the midst of tribulation, stand by me. In the midst of tribulation, stand by me. When the whole sail sail and my strength begins to fail, thou never lost a battle, stand by me. In the midst of faults and failure, stand by me. In the midst of faults and failure, stand by me. Do the best I can, and my friends misunderstand. Thou knowest all about me, stand by me. In the midst of persecution, stand by me. In the midst of persecution, stand by me. When my foes in battle array undertake to stop my way, thou who saved Paul and Silas, stand by me. When I'm growing old and feeble, stand by me. When I'm growing old and feeble, stand by me. When my life becomes a burden and I'm nearing cheery Jordan, oh, thou lily of the valley, stand by me. Father, I just thank you for this day. Excuse me, and the time to spend another week as your host. And Father, I thank you that you will guide my thoughts and my mind and my words so that everything I say will be pleasing in your sight and will be pleasing to the ears who hear. Thank you very much. Amen. From persecution to perseverance, that has to be and has been and continues to be the theme of blacks in this country. Lamentations 5:5 puts it very succinct. It was said during slavery time that we worked from dark 30 in the morning to dark 30 at night without any rest or anything in between. But we want to remember that history is not past, it is present. And after the Civil War, 1865, and President Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation, freed black slaves and poor whites joined together. And for about an 8-year period, there was beautiful harmony between the two, as the two realized that they were in the same boat. Now, the powers to be didn't like this, so they came up with organized a group called the KKK, or the Ku Klux Klan. And this was white rage, intended to punish initially just the whites for joining in with the blacks. Of course, all that changed. And during the post-Civil War slavery from 1877 to 1950, 12 southern states, Alabama, Arkansas, Florida, Georgia, Kentucky, Louisiana, Mississippi, North and South Carolina, Tennessee, Texas, and Virginia. About 4,000 black men, including boys, 12 and 13, women and black children, were lynched. Terror lynchings were horrific acts of violence whose perpetrators were never held accountable. Many public lynchings were spectacles attended by the entire white contingent, conducted as celebratory acts to control and dominate. Victims were often murdered without being accused of any crime. Bumping into a white person wearing military uniform after World War I, not addressing a white person with an appropriate title. And in a particular year, in 1919, white men lynched John Hartfield in Ellisville, Mississippi, for being falsely accused of assaulting a white girl. And the newspaper reported that the many thousands attended the horrific event. Excuse me. And my time is gone, so I won't be able to continue this until tomorrow. But there are 8 words I want you to remember, and they are these. Black success is always followed by white backlash. Black success is always followed by white backlash. Now, my time is up, and I am Dr. Leo Pickett, Chaplain and Assistant Dean of Music for Global Oved, Seminary University, and founder of LP Community Foundation, serving seniors through music therapy and health and nutrition. Take it away, co-host.
If we truly understand who we are and whose we are, no should never be an option. God has ordained this time to be. God has blessed us with so much. We have the ability to be successful in anything that we do. God has empowered us to do those things. We got to speak those things as though they are. We know that faith without works is dead. So today, I'm just encouraging everyone to continue to trust God. God has given us gifts and talents within us. No one can stop us. No mountain is too high. Nobody is too low. Nothing can separate us from the love of God. We have to realize that we have the power within us to just continue to persevere and never give up. No should never be an option. If we believe that God is our Father and He owns everything, He will not keep any good thing from us. No matter who is trying to get in our way, they can't stop us, they can't block us, because we know we can continue to push on and move forward. God is a mighty good God. I trust God. I really trust God. And I thank God again for allowing me to be here today to share a word of encouragement. I'm Reverend Dr. Anne Marie Wilkinson. I'm an ordained minister, chaplain, assistant dean with Global Oved Seminary and University. My business is shop fashion focused, focusing on women apparel and accessories. Thank you very much.
Perseverance is doing something despite difficulty. That's with no excuses, but you learn to do it anyway. Some of us have lived this life long enough to know life has a way of presenting us with many storms and trials that we have to face. Some of us have hurdles We must cross over to get to the other side, where God's promises abide. In the face of trouble, it is hard to hold on to the promises of God, especially if all you can see and hear are the storms that are raging against you. I've learned in this life, regardless of my circumstances, God still is who he say he is, and God still can do what he say he can do. I am Dr. Cecilia Smith, Chaplain and Assistant Dean at Global Oved Seminary and University, as well as founder and CEO of Strong Sisters of Strength Ministries Incorporated, a ministry where we strengthen each other through fellowship, through prayer, worship, and outreach. Thank you.
When I choose to be persistent, it's not that I'm doing it in Vicky's strength. I am doing it in the strength of the greater one that lives on the inside of me. I am able to be persistent and pursue God's best for my life because of the finished work that is already done on the cross. So I'm able to persevere under difficult times because I believe what the Bible tells me, and that is that I can do all things. The Bible tells me that I am strong. The Bible tells me that God will never leave me nor forsake me. The Bible tells me that any affliction that could ever come against me, that God will handle it and take care of it. So it really comes down to what is it that I believe. Do I believe my emotions? Do I believe what my eyes see? Do I believe what I'm feeling? What others are saying? I choose to believe the word of the Lord. I choose to believe the instruction, my manual, the Bible. Any circumstance, any issue, any trial that ever comes my way, the Bible instructs me on what to do. So I will stand strong and I will persevere, believing that, yes, I will overcome. I am Reverend Dr. Vicky Stokes. I am Assistant Dean and Chaplain for Global Oved Seminary and University. And I am also the founder of Sister to Sister Gathering, the discipleship, coaching, and mentoring program for women. Thank you.
Today, I am prompted to talk about one of my experiences with persecution. In 2011, my husband and I separated on August 24th, 2011, my deceased brother's birthday. Our separation not only impacted our relationship, but our relationship with many family members and friends. That same year, my oldest son separated from me and my family, the Moses family. God led me to start fighting for my family. At first, I did not fight because of the many distractions that came my way. No one understood me being called to fight. They knew the major problems that we experienced during our marriage. They thought I was an idiot, and they still think that I am an idiot. I caved in to the peer pressure for a while, but things did not go my way. In 2016, my husband and I went through the divorce process, but our divorce was not granted, and the case was dismissed. That year, God started to rebuild my family. He restored my son's relationship to me and the Moses family, my family. I have started to fight for my family again, and with God's help, I will persevere because my legacy is worth it. John 15:18-19 states that if the world hates you, and it does, know that it has hated me before it hated you. If you belong to the world will love you. Its own, you as its own, and will treat you with affection. But you are not of the world. You no longer belong to it. But I have chosen you out of the world, and because of this, the world hates you. This is Minister Alicia Moses Armstrong, Chaplain of Global Oved Seminary and University, founder and CEO of Agape Love Treasures and Gifts, where we share God's faith, hope, and love by using the tools of inspirational books and or art. Thank you.
What wonderful singing this morning, Reverend Dr. Leo Pickett, and wonderful story. I'm almost speechless listening to you and listening to others. And I just want to say, families are definitely worth fighting for. Let's continue to fight for them tonight. But I started thinking about the history And I remember this place called Fort Detrick in Maryland. And around that area, there are a lot of racist people. This was actually 2001. I was on the base because they were a client of ours. I was in biotech sales. I never will forget, I was on campus and I looked and asked this gentleman, "Sir, I'm lost, can you help me?" And he looked at me with the most piercing eyes of hatred I'd ever seen in my life. And I kept thinking, boy, I realized I'd asked the wrong guy. There were racist people that worked on that base. But all he did was stare with me with these bright blue eyes that just, scared me to death, actually. I was very scared. I haven't really told people that story, but I kept thinking, boy, if I'd asked this guy 50 years ago or 30 years ago or whatever, this was almost 20 years ago. And I kept thinking, if I asked this guy what direction, I could have been killed many moons ago, just for asking a question of, "I'm lost, can you help me?" I contrast that story with another story that is reality. And what you said there, Dr. Leo Pickett, it reminded me of the stories I used to listen to growing up in the South, of being able to gas up at certain places, sleep at certain places if you're traveling as a family through the South. And I believe there's a book called The Green Book. You knew where to stay, you knew where to gas up, because your life, literally, with your family could be in jeopardy. And that impression of all those stories of my grandparents and my uncles telling about their trips and where they could stay and they couldn't stay scared me. And here it was in the year 1990, almost 30 years ago. I was actually Dr. Diane. Got accepted to Georgetown Law School. And here I am in North Florida, and I had to go through South Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, before I got to D.C. And I prayed, of course, we traveled. And I had these preconceived notions that when I ran into some white people that we were being not safe. In 1990, it was 30 years ago, because I'd heard all those stories of, people getting killed, getting robbed, getting whatever, being punished. And so anyway, I ended up going to this place called Florence, South Carolina. I'll drive until I can't drive anymore, so I stopped there. And first place that we found on the highway to get a room, because I'd been driving about 12 hours, this white gentleman who's old enough for my grandfather greeted us. Welcome to Florence, South Carolina. He kept calling me sir. It was just totally different than what I was expected. He was very kind. He was very gentle. He welcomed us. Next morning, I go gas up. This other white gentleman, older, said if we were gassing up, he said, "If you weren't staying in town longer, I'd love for you to meet my family, see the chickens and hogs and cows." I mean, I was just overwhelmed with love and kindness that it contrasted all these other stories. So I know I've been on long, but I was really, Dr. Pickett, you took me back some years, and I really appreciate what you said this morning. We've come a long way. We still have a long way to go, and we are people of perseverance. And you're right. I mean, that captures our complete history here in this country. And we have to remember that our story doesn't start here. It starts outside of here. But needless to say, if you look at the 10,000-year plus history of our people, slavery only represents, 260, 300 years. It's a very small portion. However, it's had a huge impact, both before slavery and after. And it continues to leave an ugly legacy. Even myself, thinking 30 years ago, I had a preconceived notion that we weren't going to be safe, Diane and I, driving to Pickett Law School. And Lord, blessed us. We met some really good people. And as a result, I judge each person as a person. Yes, our country is far from perfect, but I think our presence here has made this Constitution, has made this country a better country. Still not there. We're still not utopia, but our presence has made a difference. So thank you so much, Dr. Leo Pickett. I am Dr. Willis Eubanks, proud Vice Chancellor of Global Oved Seminary University. I am also CEO of Global Alliance Technical LLC, where we empower people through certifying them in IT, and we empower them financially through giving them financial services and products that can help them and leave strong legacies to come. Dr. Diane, I'll turn it over to you. Thank you so much.
I'm telling you, CNN, MSNBC, no one can touch our marketplace ministers here at GODSU. This is amazing, just being in you all's presence and hearing the wonderful way that God is using all of our voices. It is just amazing. And I thank God for it. God has just been working some wonderful miracles. I am so grateful to be alive today. I'm telling you, every day that you open your eyes, it is a present to be present. And so I'm so grateful. Yesterday, I woke up and God told me that today will be GODSU church. So in other words, I'm not driving to a church, but I am going to go to our ministry, our church. And he told me to pray. He told me what to pray for and what to pray that people would do. And within 3 hours, God gave exactly what I prayed for. God is so amazing. And so many times we get distracted by the physical things we see with our human eyes. And we believe that all we can see is all there is. And then you pray, and in the supernatural, what you pray for, happens right in front of you. It is such a miracle. It just shows up, and shows up in the physical. So if you believe it, if you can see it in your mind, if you can claim it, it becomes real, and God will manifest it in reality. This morning, I want to just quickly talk about a very important chaplain, a female chaplain. And I'm reading from the African American History Bible of Global Oved Seminary University, and also from Global Bible Institute. Global Bible Institute. So I'm going to speak about Vashti Murphy McKenzie. Vashti Murphy McKenzie, born March 28, 1947, is a bishop of the African Methodist Episcopal Church. She serves as the 117th elected and consecrated bishop. Her historic election in 2000 was the first time in the 200 years of the African Methodist Episcopal Church that a woman had obtained the level of episcopal office. She's also the national chaplain of one of the Black Greek sororities incorporated. Mackenzie, a bishop, preacher, and author, is known for her fiery preaching and has been recognized for her community service and leadership by numerous prestigious organizations. But she really treasures the fact that she is the national chaplain. And here at GODSU, we have a wonderful chaplain program. We have 3 of them, in fact. And this morning, I want to focus on the Christian chaplaincy. Coming up in March, we have live courses. So anyone who has registered for the GODSU chaplaincy program in the past or is currently registered, they are welcome to come on to hear that live program. It's going to be then recorded, and then it's going to be placed on our website. So if someone would like and they have registered, paid for the registration, they can go and they can get through all of the 6 sections and the 12 chapters or Christian chaplaincy. And that's so important to us. One of our first deans, in fact, no, I think he's our second dean, because our first dean, of course, is Dr. Jakovii Roberts. The second dean that we ordained for GODSU, Reverend Dr. Joseph Hickman, and myself, the chancellor, will be doing the live. But I do want to give credit to several others who made the program where it is today. And the first person I want to give thanks to, of course, is God. The second I want to give thanks to is Her Excellency Cairo Eubanks from Cairo Writes, Cairo Speaks, who is the person responsible for transforming what we had before into the beautiful piece that it is now of the chaplaincy. And I also want to thank His Excellency Dakar Eubanks of Dakar Marketing Tools for the beautiful flyer, the graphics, the illustrations, and both of them for going to mount it on our website at both Global Oved Seminary University, www.godsu.org, as well as on the Global Bible Institute website, which is www.globalbibleinstitute.org. So I want to thank these two young people. And so many times, as we get older, we'll say, because I said so, because I'm older. We don't say that here at GODSU, because we have folks as young as starting as 8 years old who have taken the podium at GODSU and have led us. So these two young people, we're appreciative of them and all that they do. And for those of you who are interested, just like Vashti Murphy McKenzie is a chaplain, so you can be a chaplain as well. We have rolling admissions here at GODSU. Our chaplains, they enroll daily and early. Or earn chaplaincy licensing diploma program from Global Oved Seminary University, GODSU, and Global Bible Institute for the Christian one. We are 501c3, federal tax exempt, and a nonprofit university incorporated in the state of Florida. Our chaplains are essentially spiritual leaders attached to a secular institution or organization. Our chaplains are globally certified and licensed. There are several benefits to our certified and licensed program here at GODSU Nation of Chaplains. In fact, there's 17 of them. So because we don't have a lot of time, I'm not going to go through all of them, but a few of them is that you get a free graduation ceremony without university fee. You get an expensive embossed 20 by 22-inch diploma cover. It's a beautiful diploma cover, and it's valued at $150. You get that. You get placement of your picture and bio in our GODSU graduation program and Empower Youth magazine done by Dakar Marketing Tools. You also get exclusive free GODSU Alum Association and membership, and opportunity to be with all of our iconic alum. You get the opportunity to have a beautiful gold-plated badge with your name on it. You get a diploma with a chaplain's license. You also get a lifetime 100% pure leather wallet that you can house your Bible and your ID, your license, and everything else. You just get so many things. You have chaplaincy ID with your picture, your name with the expiration date, and of course you get the wonderful course that we give. So there's so many other things, and everybody gets a background check. It's just wonderful the things that you do, and you can register today. You can register right now. Our course, when you hear, that's just some of the things you get. You would think this course would be thousands of dollars. There are others who have told us that theirs have been thousands of dollars. At GODSU, we try to keep it reasonable so everyone can be a part of what we do. You can simply go to Cash App and put in the corporate number, which is 301-326-3155. 3191. You can go to PayPal at honors@godsu.org. That's HONORS at godsu.org. You can also do Zelle. So we have many ways that you can do, as well as you can just go in the bank. You can just make a deposit, and that way you can register for this wonderful course. Our next graduation for our Nation of Chaplains is in August 13th to the 17th in Washington, D.C., as well as we will be going to the United Nations in a delegation. And following that, we'll be there in December. So you can even register right now for our next Empower You conference at tinyurl, that's TINYURL.com/KLVCN96. And we're going to go ahead and put that out on our Facebook page at GODSU, or you can go to the Facebook page of the Dakar Marketing Tools, or myself. And many of our folks here are doing their 20 minutes for 2020. So they have been putting up the flyers that we send them to promote the university. Guys, this is God's kingdom. If you notice, all those other universities, they named themselves after whoever founded them. That's why you have Howard University, named after, I think it was a Caucasian military person. They named that after. Their Bethune-Cookman, named after the great Bethune-Cookman. All these universities, they're named after people. This is God's university. And so we want to make sure that we honor him and that we build him. So 20 minutes for 2020, I think only a few people are bothering to do this. God sees it. God sees it, and God knows that he's put in our hearts that we are to build this institution. So we ask you in all honesty to do that. I am Her Excellency, Honorable Reverend Dr. Diane Moore-Eubanks, Chaplain, Juris Doctor. I am the Chancellor of Global Oved Seminary University, as well as the Provost of Global Bible Institute and the National President for the New Future Foundation in the Jamaica chapter. I am under the Executive President, the Honorable Her Excellency Dr. Dolores Blakely. I am also a multi-state financial advisor for Invita Financial Network, and I look forward to helping you with your financial literacy and getting your house in order financially. And God bless you, and thank you for being here with us at our GODSUccess Teach and Pray. And thank you to our Marketplace Ministries, particularly Reverend Dr. Leo Pickett. Thank you so much. God bless you. Have a great day. Thank you.